Hi everyone, it's Mandy. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my past 12 weeks as an intern at Traveloka in Jakarta. So if you don't know what Traveloka is, it was a startup launched in 2012, but it's become one of Jakarta's biggest unicorn companies. It does airline services like hotel booking. It started with ticketing only, but now it's expanded to like food, attractions, portable hotspot, Wi-Fi, basically all things like tourism and stuff. And I was a product content intern there. I'll tell you guys all about like my journey, my experience, pros and cons, what I liked about it, what I learned, everything like that. But first, let me show you kind of a video of a day in my life as a Traveloka intern. So I wake up at 7:30 a.m. before work, and it's not because I have to go into work at like 8 or 9 a.m., but it's because I like to get a workout in before I go to work. Because Traveloka did start as a startup, the culture is very chill. You can go into work at like any time as long as you stay for like 8 hours excluding lunch. And I like to go at like 10:30 a.m. to like 6:30 p.m. And it's also nice to like just get it out of the way so you don't have to think about it after work, and you can go out with friends for dinner or something like that. So today I'm going to be doing a chest and back workout, and I usually like to start with a 5-minute warm-up on the treadmill. And I'm doing more weights recently, so I'm doing a lot of the machine workouts and also some body weight workouts. Actually, I also really like to go to the gym in the morning because there's just less people in general, and it also just sets my mood throughout the whole day. Starting the gym just keeps me so like happy, positive, and energized, and at work I realize that I'm just more like happy and energized, so it's actually worked out really well. So now I'm just getting ready for work. It doesn't take me much time because I don't really use much makeup to work. You can see that my hair is still kind of a bit wet too. But yeah, to work I just wear something pretty casual. You can see I'm wearing a black tank top, a sleeveless blazer, and even some cotton pants. So yeah, this is pretty much what I kind of wear in a day to work. So of course I gotta make myself an avocado toast for breakfast with an egg, but I am packing it to go because it is a bit past 10 at this point, so it's kind of pushing it, and I'm just gonna eat it in the car. So the Traveloka main office in Jakarta is located in Wisma 77 in Sleepy, and this is the building. It has a Starbucks in the lobby, and you need an access card to enter the building. So this is the floor I worked on. It was the 15th floor. Traveloka actually has multiple floors in like 2 buildings, so there's more than like 20 floors. And this is mine. You can see that there's like a living room in mine. Every floor has a different layout. My floor is actually half floor, and you can see that the spaces are pretty like open. It's open seating, and there's also meeting rooms you can see on the left here. This whole table section area is my team, and this is the other intern I was working with, and this is my desk. So you don't have to bring your own laptop to work because all the Traveloka interns get a laptop, and I got a Dell, but most of the design interns get a Mac. You also get your own like username and password, so you log into that. So each floor also has its own pantry, and the style is kind of different. Like this one has bleachers and bar stools and like tables, whereas some others have like booths or like tatami style tables. We also get all the basic pantry needs here, like a coffee machine with like coffee or like hot chocolate. We also get like packets of different types of coffee or oatmeal or like nutrisari, which is like a vitamin drink. And we also get milk and cereal for breakfast each day. It's only served until like 11, and then we also get fruit throughout the whole day. Today it's oranges. Yeah, we also have like a mushola in each floor, which is a prayer room, so you could use it if you need to. at this time of the day in the morning when I just arrive, I usually just sit in my desk and work. I usually stay here until lunchtime, which I take at around 1 p.m. And today I'm working particularly on my final presentation because it is my last week as an intern here. One of the requirements is to do a final presentation where I share to my supervisor and head of department what I've been working on throughout the whole internship. So like what I did, what I learned, the solutions that I made. And yeah, I'm just making my presentation right now. We can also like book a room using Google Calendar in Traveloka. So for example, I'm going to practice in one of the rooms, so I kind of just booked a room for myself, and super simple. You just do it here and it's just all booked. Yeah, this is the meeting room that I booked. You can see that each room has like a TV, a whiteboard, a desk, and it's super nice and private. Like if you book it, this is your room. So we're now at the meeting room that I booked. I'm just gonna practice presenting my final presentation. It's going to be in just over an hour. So I'm going to be improvising for the most part, but you know, I should rehearse once or twice so that I'm not fully improvising. So, good afternoon everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my final presentation. It's been almost 12 weeks that I'm here as an intern now, and I can't wait to show you guys what I've been doing, how my journey here has been, and just go through basically everything as a whole. I'm also video recording this for my YouTube channel. Going to be doing a kind of like a day in my life as an intern in Traveloka. Don't worry, this is going to be like dubbed, like muted. I'm not going to be showing everything. I just want some footage. But yeah, so I'm just going to start with my final presentation. So before we start, just a little introduction about myself. I am Amanda Santoso, but everyone calls me Mandy for short. And ever since I was little, I have loved creating content. So it is around 1 p.m. right now, which is the time I usually have lunch. And as a Traveloka employee, you will definitely get food every day from Traveloka. They give you nasi box, and there's white rice, brown rice, vegetarian and non-vegetarian options. In each box, you would get the basic nasi box things, kind of like soup. And then you get like dessert for after. And then you get like the rice choice that you pick and a protein on the side with some veggies too. And each week, each floor gets a different catering company, so there's variety. But I mean, like sometimes I eat it, but sometimes, most of the times, I bring it from home because like nasi box food can be kind of like unhealthy. So I just brought like chapchai and chicken today. Sometimes I go down to the food court with like friends, like other interns, or go out. And then there's also a microwave, so you can like heat it up right before you eat. So today I'm just eating while working because it is a pretty busy day. I have my final presentation at 2 p.m. So I'm just getting everything ready. So yeah, it's 2 p.m. Wish me luck. Okay guys, the weirdest thing ever happened. At 2 p.m. it was time for my presentation, but literally at 2:01, the internet of the whole building, like the whole building, not just my floor, shut down. And so it's been 40 minutes and they canceled my presentation today for Friday. So I'll just bring you guys around the office now, show you a tour. So this floor is the floor for people who are especially working for the flights category of Traveloka. It's definitely one of the prettier floors of the office. You can see that it's just like more like pretty, you know, they have like these booths and these walls that kind of resemble like the airplane windows. They have high tables. They have like a bigger floor in general because it's a full floor, not a half floor. They also have bean bags where you can sit on. And the pantry is also huge, like it's like triple the size of my pantry, but they have all the same things, it's just bigger. And you can see that the catering company for the lunch nasi box today is different on this floor. So now it's around 3 p.m. and I'm just working on some of the jobs I have to do entailed in my internship program. And in Traveloka, you get a desk so you can sit there all day. But I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person that I can't really sit at my desk all day. I just get like bored and like unproductive after some time. So the good thing about Traveloka is you have this desk, but you can sit anywhere you want, even if it's in a coffee shop, or just like in another pantry. So that's what I like to do. So this is a pantry on another floor that I like to work in. It's nice because it's more quiet here, and there's also like these tables next to the window, which I like. My friend, who's also an intern, told me about this place, so we like to work together here. But yeah, today I'm just working alone here because my friend, she already finished her internship program at this point. Sad. But yeah, I'm just gonna work here until I have to go at around 6:30 p.m. So yeah, at this time of the day, it's time to go home. I just pack up my things. I leave my laptop on my desk so I don't have to bring it home or back the next day. And yeah, I'm set and ready to go home. Okay, so yeah, basically that was a day in my life. Hopefully you get the gist of what it's like working as an intern in Traveloka. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the application process. So I have some notes here, so don't mind me reading this. And if my dogs start barking, like my dogs are right there, so hopefully they don't start barking. But yeah, okay, so I'll talk about the application process. So this was around April when I was like searching for internship opportunities in Jakarta. At first I had applied for three internships in America, but I didn't get into those pretty big ones, but it's okay. So I just ended up like rushing, like I need to start applying in Jakarta. So I was asking my parents like, what are the best internship programs in Jakarta nowadays, and my mom told me that she's heard that Traveloka has one of the better ones nowadays. I have ever interned in Jakarta 2 years ago, and I didn't find it super fulfilling because there wasn't like a set program, like an interns program. So I kind of went to the office and they kind of like told me what I needed to do on the day, like what extra work that had to be done. They just kind of gave it to me, so I didn't feel like it was super fulfilling, even though I did learn a bit. So this time I wanted to look for an internship where there was an actual internship program, where they really value our time there and kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, so I heard that Traveloka had a good internship program, as well as I think the others that I heard about was Gojek, Shopee, so a lot of the e-commerce stuff, startups, stuff like that, I applied to, and Traveloka was my first choice. And it was around April. A week later, I got an email telling me to, okay, so basically when you go online to the Traveloka website, there's like a student internship program kind of tab, and when you go on it, there's so many positions that they put, all the way from finance to design to marketing to accommodation. So honestly, anything you want is over there. So I applied to three positions. The first one was marketing, the second one was product content, and the third one was community. It was called community engagement for Eats, which is Traveloka's new like food category. So they wanted to like develop it more. And I didn't get a response from community development and marketing, but I got a response from product content. So they emailed me telling me to continue to the next step by writing down like a written test. So because this was for the product content department, product content is essentially everything that is written on the Traveloka application or website. So what goes on there, like we're doing attractions, which is under experience in Traveloka. So because of that, writing is very important, and they told me to write down two 500-word essays, one in English and one in Bahasa Indonesia, about a travel experience that you're very fond of, or any kind of travel experience. So I wrote the English one about my 8-hour layover in Japan and what I did in those 8 hours. And then the other one, the Bahasa Indonesia one, I wrote about my experience going to Gunung Bromo with my family, even though I didn't see it because the sunset. Anyway, that's not relevant, but I wrote about two of those and I sent it in. And then I think a week later, they reached out to me again and said, we want to see you for an interview. So yeah, I logged on and I was in LA at the time, and I met I didn't know that she was going to be my mentor at the time, but I met one of the people working in the product content department in Traveloka. She kind of like asked me questions, got to know me, asked me why I'm interested, why I would be qualified, gave me some kind of like problems and I had to give some solutions. So it was pretty casual. Like the vibe was very friendly, even though she asked questions that were pretty challenging. It was not intimidating. And then she was like, okay, we'll get back to you maybe in the next few days. And then I think around like 3-4 days later, she said that you're going to be having a second interview with the head of the product content department. So he was like more like senior, and I was more nervous because like, oh man, this is like the big boss, you know. So the second interview, he was like, oh, I've already gotten to know a bit about you, but I just want to know a bit more. And he asked more questions, kind of around the similar questions, but a lot of like stimulating ones as well. But it was like, he was very nice and it was not too intimidating as well. So I felt good about the interviews. And I think just like a few days later, the HR department told me that I had gotten the product content role. So I rejected all the other like interviews from other companies that I was offered, because I immediately wanted to take this one with Traveloka because this was my first choice. So yeah, that was the application process. And oh my goodness, I'm actually kind of sweating. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's pretty hot. Anyway, off tangent, but just that they told me to submit some documents. Yeah, so June, around 23rd of June, I started my internship, and the first 2 days of the internship is the onboarding process. So you don't really work yet, you just go and then you meet other like newcomers, so they could be like full-time freelance or interns. And for 2 days, I think it was from 9 a.m. till lunch, you're doing onboarding. So they're telling you about the company's like values, missions, policies, the office rules, safety procedures if anything like an earthquake happens or fire hazards, stuff like that. And they also give you your laptop and you set up your like a Traveloka email account, and all the other accounts that you need over there. So you don't have to bring your own laptop to work. So the first 2 days was onboarding until lunch, but after lunch you go to work. So that was when I met my team members on the first day. So after the onboarding, you get assigned to a buddy from your team, and that buddy is kind of like the person who's gonna make you feel comfortable and help you out over there. So your buddy brings you back to your floor, and that's when you meet your team and your mentor. She stated the problems the department was facing, the objectives, what I was expected to do, how I could do it, the resources I could ask for help. So basically it was really like clear and set out. There was like deadlines and everything. I was really happy that, wow, they actually have these 3 main projects for me. I don't know, I'm the type of person that likes structure, so I guess that was good. So if you're the type of person who likes structure, that would be good for you too. Now I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what I actually did as a product content intern. So when I came to it, what I had expected was that as a product intern, I'm going to be writing down a lot of the descriptions for attractions and other products that Traveloka sells, like kind of what I explained in the beginning. But basically we had 2 roles as an intern, and like the other intern who came a week before me, she kind of did all the writing and stuff like that, but I did kind of the review moderating. So in a company like Traveloka, because they are selling like tourist products and attractions, they get reviews. And what I didn't know about reviews was that not all reviews are published. In a company like Traveloka, there's so many, I think there's like 1,000 reviews almost every day on just attractions. So my department was just experience, which is attractions, so it doesn't include hotels, flights. It includes like theme parks, beauty and spa, like fitness and stuff like that. We don't want reviews to be published that are like not that helpful, or like containing of like prohibited words or things that are not irrelevant to the experience or product in general. So every day I'm looking through reviews that people get and moderating them. So like, for example, like slangs or abbreviated words, I write it into the complete word. I would delete prohibited words. So there's like a lot of gray areas of what we can like moderate or not, and I'm not gonna disclose too much about it, but basically I was making a review moderation guideline so that in the future when review moderation
new review moderators come, they know what cases to approve, moderate, reject. So I was making this guideline and while doing review moderating at the same time. And that was like my first task, and my second task was to create review escalation guidelines. So for example, when we get problems and complaints, what are we supposed to do with them so that they don't recur again in the future? And then the third big task was to create visual image guidelines. So in Traveloka, we have pictures for every product we sell, and we ask suppliers for the pictures, but we want to make sure that it's good quality, helpful, insightful pictures for the customer. So we create some kind of guidelines of do's and don'ts of the kind of pictures we expect. So those are my three main tasks as an intern. So I'm sure you do different things as whatever department you're at, but that was kind of if you're interested in what I did. And yeah, now I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons and what I liked and didn't like from my internship in Traveloka. So overall, I would say that I enjoyed my internship there for sure. I do think that it was very fulfilling. My pros is that number one, it's really structured. Like I said, we get a mentor, we get a buddy, we get like onboarding, offboarding, and then during onboarding you get to meet your mentor where you get an onboarding sync with that presentation, and then every week we actually even do have a weekly sync. So like on Mondays at 3 p.m. for me, I meet my mentor and I kind of tell her what I did throughout the whole week and and she'll tell me what I need to do for the next one, or like she'll give feedback, she'll ask for my thoughts. So you feel very valued as an intern. And we also have like a final presentation at the end. So after my 12 weeks, I kind of give them a final presentation on like the work I did, basically kind of like this, but to my mentor, my buddy, and the head of product content department there. And you can invite anyone else you want, but I just invited those three people. So that was the structure of the internship program. And the second thing I like is that there was really no like discrimination between if you're a full-time worker or an intern. They really value you as an intern there. Like your mentor and your buddy or whoever is relevant to your project, they will invite you to meetings that you will go to, and then you can even lead those meetings if it's based on your project. You're the one who's like talking about it, you're the one giving input. They would ask you for feedback. So they really do value your opinions, and they think that you as part of Traveloka can actually help them grow. So that's what I really liked about it. Also, yeah, the internship program itself is amazing. Like I think this summer we had 72 interns in Traveloka. So we start in different weeks and different months, but it's basically around the summer. And from those interns, most of us are undergraduates, so like we're still in college, or like basically or almost finishing college. And we have like interns day where we would go for a day. We didn't have work, but we would just be like meeting all the other interns, and they actually put you in a group. So there were 12 groups of 6, and like prior to interns day they connected to your groups, and then you had missions to do. So for example, like who's the oldest worker in Traveloka? Go to the 17th floor, and he has like a kitten poster on his desk, and then you're supposed to take a picture. And like little missions like that make you bond with other interns, that also makes your internship more fun. I really enjoyed. And then in intern day itself, you got to meet all the interns. They had a talk where like the chief transportations officer came, and the head of whatever, like bigger people inside the company, they came, they talked to us. And ex-interns who also became full-time workers came, and they talked to us about how they're enjoying it now as a full-time worker. And we also had like team bonding, like challenging games to play with the other interns. So it was a really fun day. It went from like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Over there I also met other interns. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. I think someone just came home. I hope you can hear me. But we also met all the other interns. So I think from 72 interns, there are probably around like 12 to 15 interns that go overseas to study, and around maybe like 60 of them are based in Indonesian colleges. So we got to meet like a diverse amount of people, and you got to make friends. So that the next few weeks in Traveloka, I had gotten contacts of friends that I could have lunch with or just like work together with. And yeah, it was just a nice like community of interns. And the next thing I liked was that there's no attendance, so there's no specific work hours, so you don't have to come at like 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. every day. They really give you full independence and autonomy to come whatever time you want. And I would come at around 10:30 a.m. and leave at 6:30 p.m. So I like that because I like to work out in the morning before I go to the office so that I don't feel tired after I come back, and then I can socialize and have dinner with my friends afterwards. So I would wake up at like 7 a.m., go to the gym, do a workout, and I can go home, shower, and then after that go to the office again at 10:30 a.m. and start the day from then. And they actually also give breakfast there until 11 a.m. So there's cereal and milk and like fruit, and then at lunchtime they also give you lunch. So that's another thing. If you are the type of person that doesn't like to cook or like buy food all the time, the lunch is actually provided, and breakfast too, but dinner is not provided. And I also like how lax it is over there. You can actually work anywhere you want. You don't have to sit on your desk even though you're given your personal space in your desk. You can go to the many different floors that there are in the office, and you can even go to like Starbucks or Starbucks downstairs and work with other people. So it's very nice. Every floor in the office has a different layout. It's very like clean and modern. They have bean bags. Some floors have a rug to play board games, foosball. So it was a nice like space in general, and everyone there is also like pretty young. So as an intern, there will be a lot of people you could connect to, and as a fresh graduate, if you're planning to work full-time there, a lot of people too. Last two things I want to talk about pros is that you do get paid as an intern there. I can't disclose how much you get paid, but let's just say it's pretty good for an intern. I think like some full-time like positions also pay not too much higher than what we get paid as an intern there monthly. So rest assured it's good, and there's also really big potential for return offer. And I think a lot of people I did talk to, the other interns I made friends with, almost all of them got a return offer. So yeah, it's good if you're looking for a return offer for a full-time job later. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the cons of the internship experience at Traveloka. So I would say that it could be the job you get in Traveloka, it could be a little monotonous towards like the end or from the middle to the end, because okay, for example, I was given 3 main projects. So these are the 3 main projects that I was working on, and when I'm working on them, it's really my project. So I'm thinking a lot about it and like writing it all like on my own and working on it. But before I proceed to the next step within each of the projects, I sometimes have to have meetings with other departments and people in charge to see where I can like continue, to make sure that I can continue. And people are busy, so meetings will take like a few days or a few weeks to like before you can actually meet with them. And for those few weeks of delays, you're kind of like working on like, for me, like review moderating. It could get monotonous when you're not really doing your main project, or just like waiting in between, or like for example you're already working on it all the time, that it becomes like kind of like a routine that it's not super challenging or brain stimulating anymore, mind stimulating. And yeah, so like I feel like that's like kind of like with the independence you get, it can also be a hindrance if you're not proactive. So maybe in my case, when I was feeling a bit like having more downtime, I could have been more proactive and asked for more work. So yeah, I think that's what you could do. Okay, and the second con is that I'm sure, for example, like a big company like Traveloka, there are a lot of challenges they face, but as an intern, you're not really exposed to the real like full-time experience, so you don't really know what's going on like that's hard that they're trying to like overcome. They kind of give you the job and you kind of do it. So even though you are giving autonomy and independence, you are kind of still like fed a little bit on a silver spoon. So I would like to be able to like know about, or like for them to kind of share with me the real life like company like obstacles, because I do think that that's a necessary part of like growing. And the third one was that like I mentioned before, my team was sitting in one side of the office and I was sitting with the intern in the other side. So honestly, I mean, it is nice at times because you feel like you have kind of your own space, no one's really watching over you, you can kind of do what you want at sometimes. But then in the last week when the other intern had left, they invited me to sit with them, and I felt like in that week that I was sitting with them, I got to socialize with them more, just because we are in the same space. So like we get to talk more, and then I got to know more about them. Even though we did have 2 social events in the duration I was there, we had like a karaoke and a dinner. That was just 2, and you could also have lunch with them, but I also sometimes had lunch while doing work, or had lunch with the other interns, because like I felt like we connected on interns day, so I had lunch with the other interns instead. So I guess on your part you could also make a proactive effort to get to know your team more. So maybe that could be like fall on my end, but it's nice to be able to sit together with your colleagues, a full-time colleague, so you feel more connected to them, you learn more about them. And I think that was, oh no, there's one more con. It's not really a con, but it's just felt like 12 weeks of my internship was actually just a bit of a stretch, because I know most of the other interns interned for like 8 to 10 weeks at max, and I kind of gave them my whole time. I told them that my summer was like 12 weeks long, so I could do 12 weeks, but actually you could ask for like 8, 9, or 10. I think 10 is a good amount, so that you could have some time to like relax on your own in your holiday before you go back to school. So yeah, that was all. In conclusion, I think that my internship experience at Traveloka was fulfilling. Like, I really can't complain. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the internal workings within a company, like creating guidelines. I didn't even know these things existed in a big company. So learning, being a part of what was once a startup that is now developing so fast, it really gives you like, it gave me an insight to how things work within a company and how interdependent each team is with each other. And everyone is so nice over there. Even my last day, they gave me a surprise present, so that was like really nice of them. And it was very fun too. Like, I got to meet a lot of friends. Like, I would say like the other interns are now like, some of them are really good friends now, so I'm really happy about that. And yeah, based on what I experienced and what I just explained, I hope it gave you an understanding of what you could be expecting if you want to intern at Traveloka. And if you have any questions about the internship, you can just like message me in the comment section down below, or message me on Instagram over here. But yeah, that's all. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And it was nice talking to you. Bye.
You got that thing that I've been looking for. Been running around for so long. Now I got you, I won't let you go. You got that thing that I've been looking for. And you got a heart full of gold. And that's really